And here we go. Okay. Thank you guys for hanging with me for a second. I always like to make sure that I'm going live into the event too, so everybody can watch. So my name is Melissa McQueenie, and I am here to talk tonight about my steps that I have taken to change my life. And, this is called Becoming the Healthiest and Happiest You, because these are the things that I've implemented into my life that have really made a big difference in my mindset, my confidence, my relationships, and just everything. So what I really want to start with, my name is Melissa. Again, I have 3 kids, a husband. I have a 16-year-old daughter, 11-year-old son, and an 8-year-old daughter. I am a therapist as well as a coach. I have really always loved helping people. And it started with, I was talking to my kids today, they were laughing at me. I was the founder and president of the community service club in high school. So I was the one always pushing for people to do more community service hours, and everyone really hated that. But I always really loved giving back to the community and the way that it made me feel by helping people. So it was kind of a natural progression for me to go from that to a degree in the helping professions, and then decided ultimately to become a therapist. And I really thought that was going to be it for me. Like that was the way that I was going to contribute to the world. But I started 5 years ago. I signed up as a coach with Beachbody and had no clue where this road would take me, but am totally floored at what it has given to my life. I was someone who was really, really skeptical of the coaching opportunity and really hesitant to start this journey, but I wanted to change my health. I wanted to change my family's lives, all of their lives. I knew that we were not eating the best. I knew I was sedentary. I was a smoker, and I really wanted to make a difference that way. And what happened is I fell in love with helping people in this realm and really found that this is my calling. I see such a huge impact from physical movement into mental health. And this is just the way that I freaking love to give back now. So anyways, that's where I am today. And one of the best parts about coaching is the emphasis on personal development and personal growth. And again, this is something that I've sort of always done. I maybe I'm weird. Maybe it's because I'm an only child. I didn't have siblings to play with, but I read personal development books. It's always sort of been like this taboo thing, but I remember loving Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus when I was in high school. And I was like so blown away by that book. So anyway, this, and what personal development does is gets you into the state of growth and always trying to improve yourself and improve your life. So how I want to start is when you are on a journey and you want to become healthier and happier, it really is a decision. It's a decision to become healthier and happier. And you have to say to yourself, and you have to recognize that it really comes down to being intentional. And that's my number 2. So I'm not going to skip to that yet, but I want to really get that groundwork laid, is that your happiness is in your hands. And I know a lot of people get stuck into that, like, well, when I get that promotion, when I make more money, when I am married, when I have children, that's when I'll be happy. But your life is happening now. And that decision to be happier and to take those steps to living your better life happens right now. It doesn't happen when you achieve those things. It's looking around, and I'm going to get into all of that in a couple minutes. But I wanted to just set that groundwork. It starts with intention. It starts with a decision, and that is in your hands now. Don't be waiting. Life is happening now. But you guys are here. So that means you are taking those steps. So the number 1 tip is mindset. And I touched on this a minute ago, but when I started coaching, it started with me, first of all, in that mindset about money. I couldn't afford to become a coach, I couldn't afford to live healthier. I couldn't afford the shake that I wanted to drink every day. I was stuck in that scarcity mindset. And it's really, really important to pay attention to the things that you're telling yourself and the stories that you're telling, because those stories are going to define how you show up in the world. So I showed up in the world thinking I couldn't afford things. So guess what? I couldn't afford things until I could. So I made that decision to, as I said, I wanted to change my health. So I said, okay, I need to change my health. That means that I need to sign up for this challenge pack to get my foot in the door, to get at my fingertips, to get my shake that I wanted to drink that was going to change my nutrition. And so I made that choice, and I gave up my daily trip to Dunkin' Donuts, because guess what? At Dunkin' Donuts, I got a medium coffee that was light and sweet. Okay. It was literally like a white drink because I got so much cream and so much sugar in it. So I gave up that. That was about like $2.50. And at Dunkin', I always got a bagel, sometimes a bagel or a donut, sometimes both. So when I decided to invest in my health, I said, okay, I'm going to give that up. That's my shake every day. My shake costs $4 a day. So that's what I'm going to give up. And that's my sacrifice that I'm going to make towards my health. And then what ended up happening is I learned how to prep my lunches for work. So instead of like running and getting a calzone at the pizza shop or getting a Subway sandwich for lunch, I was bringing my lunch. So I was eating healthier, and two, saving even more money. And guess what that led to? So it started with that scarcity mindset, right? And then it became, okay, well, now you're able to, this fits into your life. What else fits into your life? And I was thinking the other night as I was doing my skincare routine, 5 years later, I never did skincare 5 years ago. I didn't have the money for that. I had to pay for my kids this. I had to pay for my kids that. I couldn't afford things for myself because guess why? I had that mindset that I couldn't afford it. So over time, I've learned to put myself first. I've learned to prioritize my needs in addition to my family's needs, and grown my income and made space for those things that matter to me and are important to my health and my well-being and everyone around me because of it. So, okay, so that's mindset. So huge things that I implemented in my life is, what are you listening to? What are you absorbing? Are you somebody who is listening to the news from the morning you wake up to the morning you go to bed? Guys, I am not saying to not be informed at what goes on in the world, but it can be really, and we know this, it can be really disturbing. It can be really disheartening. It can be really awful. So be informed of what's going on and then shut it off. Make sure that you're not being so affected by this that it's affecting your whole mindset for the day. So what I do is when I wake up in the morning, I start with a personal development book. I am always constantly trying to make sure that I'm filling myself up with things that are in my control, controlling the controllable. And that is what I read. That is what I listen to. So I read my personal development book. It's something about something that I'm struggling with, whether it be the money mindset, like I talked about, or maybe it is, family relationships or, anxiety, whatever it is, there's a book for it. So I always try to be reading something that is growing me and helping me to get a handle on my mindset. When I'm done with the reading, I go to podcasts. So I'm listening to podcasts in the car, when I'm getting ready, when I'm making dinner. And it's podcasts about how I can control my life, how I can control my mindset, how I can better the lives of other people that I'm around. And this is really powerful, guys. Like once you get into that habit, you get really addicted to hearing these positive things and how you can keep improving your life. Gratitude. So gratitude is my favorite. Gratitude is proven. It's proven by science. It can get people through the most traumatic of events. So what I do is every single day, 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for. A lot of people say, well, I am grateful. And I think that's great. I think it's great to have a grateful heart, have a grateful mind, but having a gratitude practice is totally different. So, literally getting up every single day and saying, this is what I'm grateful for in my world. And this comes back to that thing that I was talking about. Instead of saying, I'll be happy when, I'll be, grateful when I have more money, I'm married, I have kids, I have a house, I have a job, I have a car, whatever it is. What are you grateful for now? What do you have around you that you can give thanks for? And what happens when you start doing this? You look around at your world at what else you have in it. So some days you're going to feel like shit. Maybe you're pessimistic to begin with. Maybe you don't really know what you have in your life that is good. It could be the socks on your feet, the roof over your head, the blanket that you have to keep you warm, the freaking eggs in your refrigerator. It can be anything, big or small. And as you start to really train your mind to look for these things, you're going to say to yourself throughout the day, oh my God, this is what I have to be grateful for. This is something that's good in my life. This is something positive. This is something I can write in my gratitude journal tomorrow. And you really start to look for those things. Some days I have a really easy time filling out 5 things. Sometimes I'm like, oh God, what's another one? Because what you want to do is you want to get specific about it. So you don't want to just say, like, my kids. What about your kids? Did your teenager talk to you today? Did you take a walk with them? Did your, 11-year-old tell you a funny joke and, I don't know, let you sing for a little while? Because I know when I sing, my kids yell at me. So I'm always happy when they don't tell me to shut up. What are you specifically grateful for? My husband, this was a huge change in my relationship. I started, instead of like always being annoyed at what he wasn't doing, I started to look for the things that he did do and then compliment him on that and thank him for the things that he was doing. And this really changed our marriage. So I, because there's always sometimes that you can get into that mindset of, what they're doing that's annoying. He didn't put his socks in the hamper. He didn't take the garbage out. He didn't start dinner, when it was dinner time. What did he do? What did they do? What did they do that was helpful? What did they do that made you smile? And in recognizing that, you're also changing your brain to not be focusing on the lack of, but focusing on the good things. And then what happens is, and it doesn't happen immediately, but over time, they're like, oh my God, why is her attitude changing? And then they start to recognize the things that you're doing, and then you're in a totally different rhythm. So along with being intentional, it's really making that choice. And that's a choice that my husband and I make every single day. If we are going into that more negative place where it's like, well, you didn't do this and you didn't do this, we'll say to each other, hey, remember that decision we made, how much better our relationship is when we're both 100% in it and we are committed to making that change. So gratitude is really, really powerful. And, as I said, as a therapist, if you do research, read the gratitude diaries, and there's a bunch of books on the power of what gratitude can do to get you through the darkest of times. And it's really, really mind blowing. Affirmations is also a part of my morning routine. And what I do is I have affirmations written for my self-limiting beliefs, written for the things that I struggle with so that I can get past them and really address them head on. So it's really a matter of, when you talk about mindset, is watching about how you talk to yourself, about yourself, and to other people. And it does get easier over time to train your mind to think in a more positive way. It just takes a lot of practice. I mean, I've been on this journey for 5 years and I still have moments, of, negative self-talk or, getting to that negative mindset. I came home tonight and my husband, the reason I brought up the dinner is he hadn't made dinner. He never knows that the kids need to eat dinner. So it's really not a surprise. But, I had to stop myself and say, okay, well, did you communicate that to him? Did you say, hey, I need you to, make dinner for the children tonight. If I didn't communicate that, I really can't be mad that he didn't do it, right? So, look for those things and look for those ways that you can remember what your goals are. And that's a huge thing for me. Knowing that I want to be in a happy marriage makes me want to have better communication, makes me be in a better mindset around the whole thing altogether. So if you need a personal development recommendation, I have tons. Some of my favorites are the Miracle Equation, Everything is Figure Outable, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. Also, if you're someone new to personal development and you're not sure, or you don't maybe feel like you have time to read, Brene Brown and Rachel Hollis have shows on Amazon Prime and Netflix, which is a really good like intro into the world of PD. So you can check those out. So number 2, and I've been talking about it since we began, is intentionality. Really, really being crystal clear about your goals. Like I said, every single day, one of the goals that I write down is being an exceptional wife. So what does that mean? How do I show up to be that? It's the same thing that I was talking about. Instead of getting caught in that negative sort of dialogue with my husband like we used to, I now am very intentional on our interactions, on our communication, and how we can deal with each other. So what are your goals? Are you spending time doing things that are moving you towards those goals? And something that really was profound to me in being a mom is I always wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be a mom for my whole life. My adoptive mom, I was adopted when I was a baby. My adoptive mom couldn't have kids. And it was one of my biggest fears that I wouldn't be able to have kids too, just because I had heard her story growing up. And so I had Kaylin when I was 24 and became, at that time, I felt like a young mom. A lot of the moms that were around me were much older. And I always wanted to be a mom. So that was the most important thing to me ever. But it took me so long to realize that I wasn't doing it the way that I always wanted to do it. I was doing it the way that my mom did. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. She was like the class mom. She ran all the events at school and she had time to do that, right? I worked full time. So working full time, being the PTO president, running the Girl Scout troop, running the booth at the school events, taking her to activities and doctor's appointments while working full time was exhausting. And I didn't have the time to do the things that I wanted to do at the end of the day because I was that exhausted. So my daily things were not leading me to be the mom that I wanted to be for her. I wasn't showing up the way that I wanted to show up. Mind you, I was also coping with stress by smoking cigarettes in the garage. So when I did have time at home, I was sneaking off to have a cigarette when I could have sat down and read her a book or something. I was just so frazzled. So it took me really getting intentional with my goals. Okay, I want to be a good mom. What does that look like for me? And what does that look like for me? That means being able to go to the playground with my kids and play with them and not be so exhausted that I'm sitting on the bench. It means playing a game with them at the end of the day, reading books with them, watching movies, having time and energy, and not being so frustrated and frazzled at the end of the day that I'm able to show up for them the way that they need me to show up. And so really now, when I say I want to be a good mom, that means time with them. And I didn't have that before. I was going to work, picking them up, then PTO meeting, they were with other people. So I thought I was being a good mom by being on the PTO. And I'm not saying you can't be a good mom by being on the PTO, but I wasn't, because I wasn't having that time that I wanted to have with them. So now I know what that means. So you have to really get crystal clear about your goals. Where do you want to go and what are you doing to get there? And be real with yourself. Do a time audit. How are you spending your time? What are you doing? Sometimes I'll feel so flustered and I'm like, I just looked at reels for like 20 minutes. What could I have done in that 20 minutes, right? Like, get crystal clear. What are you doing to spend your time? How are you spending your time? What can you do? How can you make adjustments? Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. So what do you need to do to make these things happen? And, I write down my goals every single day. So when I get up, as I said, I have those goals of my family right in my head because I know that that's what I want to do with my day. And I know that how I'm going to show up that day is going to be because I've been crystal clear on my goals. So I have a morning routine, and that morning routine really, really helps me to get done everything that I need to get done. And I try to get my things done before the children wake up so that I can be present for them. So I can do the things they need to do and show up in a way that makes me proud. Because when I was doing it the other way, I would go to bed flustered and angry with myself because I was short with them. I was frustrated. I didn't have enough time in the day. And it just was a vicious cycle. And then in turn, guess who I blamed? My husband, because he didn't have any of those responsibilities. But guess what? I also didn't ask him to help me. So it's like these vicious things, guys, that we have to just be aware of. Are you a yes person? I was a yes person. I was a yes person. If you needed help, I was there. If you needed me to bake cookies, that were homemade vegan from scratch in 2 hours, I did it. I eliminated all of that from my life. So all the committees, all the boards I sat on, all the extra things that I thought were bringing me closer to my goals are now gone from my life. I've learned to say no, and I am excited to say no. I love to tell this story because a couple years ago, I was really I was practicing this, right? And I was at a race. I used to run races all the time. And when we had in my running group, whenever we had a big celebration race, we would write in chalk all over the sidewalks and all over the road to congratulate people if it was a big race for them. And I hate chalk. I hate how it's on my hands. I hate getting down and writing on the thing. I think I have like PTSD from like rubbing my like knuckles on the pavement. And so this runner that I was friends with came up to me with this box of chalk and she said, Melissa, do you want to write a message on the sidewalk? And I was like, no, no, I don't. And she was like, whoa. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm really excited about this new like saying no thing. And I just got really excited. So I think I scared her away forever, but I was really proud of myself because no, I didn't want to write with chalk. I don't want to write with chalk. So no matter what it is, how insignificant it may seem in your life, saying no can feel really empowering because you're taking control of your time, your wants, your needs, and stop saying yes to please somebody else. This is your life. And if you don't want to write with chalk, don't freaking write with chalk. Number 3. So we did 1 was mindset. 2 is intentionality, being really intentional with your time, being really intentional with your goals. Eliminate things that are not serving you and bringing you closer to where you want to be. Oh, another one I wanted to mention is my house. And then I'm going to shut up about number 2. But I have had on my goal list vision board selling my house for I don't know how long, maybe 5 years, 4 years, but seriously for 2 years at least. And I have been working on my financial goals to get us to that point. So we've been working on paying off debt, improving our credit, building our savings. Those are things that I really need to do to get there. But getting my house ready to be sold was a totally different situation. So 2020, we really targeted a lot of the financial stuff. But here I am writing this goal down every day of buying a new house, and I'm not doing anything to get this house ready to be put on the market. So this year I said, enough is enough. Like, you're full of shit. If you're just writing this in your book and not doing anything to bring you to that goal, you're not going to get to that goal. You're going to be writing a new house in your book for the next 20 years. So I've got a dumpster. I have a dumpster outside. I am slowly, this probably won't mean anything to you guys, but I've had all of my photo albums up there. I actually just packed all those in boxes today. My basement is finally like getting done, and I'm going room to room to get this stuff done so that this goal of mine can happen. So really get real with yourself. Like I had to get real with myself. This goal is not going to happen unless I do something about it. So no matter what you write, you have to take action. You have to take action and make actual steps to get to that point. Okay. Number 3 is accountability. you need accountability. You need accountability for anything that you do. If you don't have somebody holding you accountable to the things that you want to accomplish, it's just so much more difficult to get there. And this is something that coaching has taught me. One of the things that we do in our coaching world is run accountability groups. And these groups tie us to our goals. So if our goal is to, do a program from start to finish, we have those accountability posts where we post our workouts every single day. We post our nutrition every single day. We tie ourselves to this community so that that community can hold us to our goals. And if we don't show up, they know we don't show up because we're there running these groups. And that's why coaching works more so than just being a challenger. And there's lots of customers and challengers that can make this work, but I really believe it's tied to the accountability. And as a coach, when you're bringing people in to help them with their goals, it ties you to the next level because you have to show up for these people. I run groups. I have to show up for these people because I've said that I will. I don't know why I'm going to walk you around. I feel like being a show and teller. See that board up in the wall? That's the brag board for my brand new program. Every single program that we do comes with a board like that. And putting it up on the wall not only makes me check the boxes, but it also tells my family what I'm doing. And I have them all over my house. I actually just took 2 off the wall today because they were so old. But when I put those up and I tell my family, this is what I'm doing this program for the next 9 weeks, you bet your ass my kids will call me out if I'm not doing it. I don't even know, maybe they wouldn't, but I will do it because I'm telling my freaking kids I'm doing something. And I know no matter what you do in your life, I know a lot of people take their kids more seriously than anything. So you're not going to lie to your kids. You're not going to tell them you're going to do something and not do it. Maybe if I broke my leg or something, but I'm going to show up every single day because this is on my wall. So I'm not going to tell my kids to work their butt off in school, work their butt off when they get a job, or work their butt off and be a nice human if I can't follow through with my own goals. So I need to show up the best way that I can show up to tell them that they can do this stuff too, that they can do hard things, they can push themselves, they can take something from start to finish and have the commitment to do that because I'm able to do that. So have that accountability. My social media is my accountability. I show my meals on my social media daily in my stories. I talk about the struggles that I'm having. I talk about the successes that I'm having. I talk about where I've come from, where I'm going, because I want to be held accountable. I want people to know what I'm all about and know that I'm not perfect and know that people make mistakes and we still can keep going and go forward. So when you talk about accountability and you talk about your goals, who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you surrounding yourself with people who are also having the same goals as you, are moving forward, are committed to their own personal growth and development, and have similarities to that? You are the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. So if you are hanging out with, I think Darren Hardy said that, if you're like trying to cut down on your drinking and you're hanging, and obviously COVID world is a little bit different than normal world, but if you're hanging out with people who order 5 drinks in one seating at the restaurant, you're probably not going to get to your goal of drinking less. You want to be hanging out with people who also have similar goals, or maybe don't drink, or maybe, are also just trying to limit themselves to 1 drink. If you want to have better nutrition and you're hanging out with people who are only eating, nachos and pizza, that may not reach you to your nutrition goal. You may want to hang out with coaches like me who are, trying to live a more balanced life and will totally have the glass of champagne or glass of wine, but may eat something healthier for dinner, whatever. Just pay attention to that, because you are going, no matter what, whether it's subconscious or consciously, you're going to be moving in that direction, however the people are. And, something I often talk about is, people who have been in your life for a long time. I know sometimes you can be around those people and kind of get sucked into like what you used to be with them, pay attention to that. You don't have to cut people out of your life, but you can certainly limit your exposure to them and be around the people that you admire and see yourself growing towards in that respect. Just really be cautious of how you're spending your time and make sure again that it's intentional. So, I hang out with people from my past. It is time limited. Even family can be like that to a certain extent if they're not particularly supportive of or your growth or whatever the case may be. So, when you say something out loud, you're accountable to that goal. So find yourself accountability in whatever you are working towards. And as I said, I have an amazing community that I've been building for the last 5 years, and it's all centered around accountability and growing towards not just your better nutrition and better fitness, but also this mindset stuff. And that's the piece that has been, and I will just say this 1,000 times over, that has been the most beneficial to me, is tying this all together. And I think that's why I freaking love this over my job as therapist, because it's not just the mindset piece. It's not just taking control of your life. It's taking control of your life from such a basic standpoint. And I think that so many people overcomplicate things and they want things to be so difficult, but it really is so simple. Take control of your health, move your body, and freaking pay attention to what you're putting into your mind, and put into your mind these things of how you can control your life, how you can control your mindset, what you say to yourself, how you talk about other people, and how you talk about yourself. So, yes, that's why I'm so passionate about all of this. And it's just the cornerstone of everything that I've been doing. And having this community of women, some of whom are here, is just life-changing. It's completely life-changing to be around people who want to better themselves and better their lives and better everyone around them. So I am going to show you, if you guys don't mind, just some information about how to join our community, because this is really this is how my life changed. And, I can tell you that, yes, personal development alone will change your life, and 2, fitness alone will change your life. But this combination of all the things plus the accountability is what changed my life. So that's all I know to share with you. And I know some people are like, well, I don't want to become a coach. You don't have to become a coach. You don't have to take the same journey that I've taken, but this is what's worked for me. So a lot of people say, well, what worked for you? How can I get that confidence? How can I get that life? This is how. So I am going to share my screen. Oh my God. Okay, here it is. Start from first slide. Okay. Oh my God. What I should really do is put on my goal list to buy a new computer. Okay. I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. Oh, share screen. Did that work? Oh. Okay. Can you guys see that? Yeah? Can you give me a heads up if you can see that? Yeah, okay, good. Thank you. Okay. So the first option is the basic package. Now this gets you the entire year of workouts. So this is what we call our Netflix of fitness. It is over 1,500 workouts. There are so many programs that we would match you up with a program that's perfect for your goals, your life, the time that you have. We have everything from 20-minute programs to hour-long programs. There's just so much. There's yoga, there's meditation. It's everything that you could possibly need. It's incredible. It would also come with your first month of Shakeology, which is the shake that I was talking about earlier. This is so much more than a protein shake. It has everything that you could possibly need in it in terms of nutrients and antioxidants and so much good stuff. It was created by Darren. What's his name? Darren Olin? Olin? Is that it? Olin? And he is in Down to Earth with Zac Efron. And then it comes with which is so amazing, is 2 nutrition programs. And as I said, I would help you choose what program is perfect for you. One is more intuitive eating, and the other one is portion controlled containers, which is the one that I use. And this is literally, along with the accountability, everything that you need to succeed in your journey. It comes with the portion control containers, the tracker book in case you choose the other program, the intuitive eating, and then a year of personalized coaching and our accountability group. And that is $160, which is an incredible deal. And then the option 2 is everything above plus my favorite drink, Unicorn Magic. It's our pre-workout, which just gives you all the tingles to get you through your workout. I use it as caffeine, like my coffee, because I don't drink coffee. So I drink it in the morning. It helps me focus. It's just the best. And there's another option if you're interested in the brand new program that I was talking about, the 9-week Control Freak. We have that as an option. And obviously the best bet is to sign up as a coach, because that guarantees you have that heightened accountability. Not only that, but you get the ongoing 25% discount on all the products and programs that we have. And as I said, that's what I did. We also have a team page for coaches that is run like a challenge group. So we have challenges in there, focusing on personal development, focusing on the things that will help you to gain that confidence, help you with your mindset, and all of that will really help you with your fitness and health journey. These are the Shakeology flavors. So I would just need to know what Shakeology flavor you want. We have vegan, we have whey, and that's it. And let me also put my Cheryl sees I have all my Winter Warrior things to log. All right, I'm gonna I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this. Maybe I'll put this in the, oops. No. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna just put that in the group, I think. Any questions? I'm gonna stop recording.